Nope, you just lost someone.
You just lost Becky.
Um. Okay, I'm gonna call to order this meeting of the Fraser Park Public Utility District. This is our regular meeting for Thursday, March 13th, 2025. We're starting at 4 o'clock, I think, or 4:01 p.m. We're gonna start with a pledge to the flag, if everyone could please rise. Ooh. Okay, ready to begin? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. These here now. Okay, roll call directors. Director Garcia, I believe, is absent. Director Nyman.
Here.
Director Gibson, I believe is
Here.
teleconference. Okay, oh, and I forgot to say our additional teleconference location of 820 Elm Trail, Fraser Park, 93225, and Director Kelling.
I'm here.
And I'm Director Schoenberg, and I'm here, so it's 4 out of the 5 directors. We'll move on to item number 2. Discussion vote, just agenda if necessary. Any adjustments? Okay, hearing none, I'll move on to item 3, public comments. These are items that are not currently listed on the agenda. We ask you to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Thank you. Any public comments? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna go on to report of officers. Item 4, report of the president. I guess mine will come up in our other ad hoc. So I don't think, I know I did get, we're gonna discuss it tonight, so I got, something from, the state that we will be discussing. So I'll discuss all mine under other items. Vice President is not here. Secretary,
Didn't have anything.
okay. Treasurer.
I have nothing. And Joan, there were no transfers.
Oh,
Joan's
see,
not
Joan.
here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and JPIA representative.
She's not.
Nothing.
Okay, thank you, everyone. On to item 5, board member initiatives. Are there any board member initiatives?
No.
Okay, item 6, the manager's report.
We had the roof blow off, the booster house at Wolf Tank. There's no warranty on it. We've exceeded our warranty for the project. The additional warranty wasn't paid for. When the project bought it, they only have up to 6 years anyway. We're approaching that before too long anyway. So, I tried to get bids. I got 3 companies that were supposed to come up here from off the hill, and none of them came up except for one guy said, oh, well, when I come up, I want half down and I want the rest as soon as I finish the job. So I told him he wasted my time. So then Pat Banfield was gonna try to give me a quote. He's a licensed contractor. He's supposed to give me a quote, but he didn't get it to me in time for this meeting, so. We're gonna have to get some kind of roof on it, or we're gonna ruin the internal of it. Fully half of the roof blew off, so. That's what we got going with that, so I'll keep you posted on that, and that's all I got.
Thank you. What, can you say the companies that you asked?
I mean, I don't have them right here. I called them. I mean, I don't have it ready. It's the closest ones. If you Google the closest ones, the 2 down in Castaic and Santa Clarita, they're the ones that said they were gonna come for sure, and then one I called in Bakersfield. And they either don't answer their phone or they won't come. Too far. It's too small of a roof, they say. 10 by 20, too small of a roof. Nobody wants to come for that.
How about deal? Or stole.
Well, again, he's a general contractor, so I mean, if I need to, I will get a quote from him, but I was trying to get roofing coverage.
Oh,
General contractors are supposed to do bigger
Yeah,
jobs that
they are.
encompass more than just one trade.
oh. All I know is he did my room.
Yeah. But, so, I mean, if I need to, that's what I'll do, but I was hoping roofing companies that would have a 20-year warranty, but.
Okay. Any other questions for general manager? Administrative assistant report?
Don't forget to do your training. Call me if you need help, and you're always welcome in the office if you want to do it here. And just plowing through the website.
Mute yourself, Joan, please.
I was going to ask a question.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I came on a little bit late. I have a question. I think it's for Johnny. A few months ago, you guys had talked about a couple of the tanks that were in poor condition. And if I recall, the tanks were not going to be able to be repairable. And the grants that you had applied for, you weren't able to get. What is the status of those tanks now and their replacement or repair?
They're still standing and we have no funding for it, so we have to wait till the state opens up funding to want to pay for the tanks.
Okay, thank
They're
you.
not actively a threat, but I mean, we need to get them replaced, but nobody wants to give us $1 million for a tank right now.
okay, thank you. Any other questions for either Tiffany or Johnny? Okay, moving on to standing committee reports. Accounts payable committee.
Well, we met, we did get the, progress, the invoice for, all that inventory. Johnny, did we receive all the inventory for that 19,000?
Yeah,
We did receive everything.
yeah, Curtis came up and inventoried it himself.
Okay. I just wanted to make
He
sure.
drove
'Cause-
up to make sure, and then the only thing that I personally inventoried was the air conditioner heater
Right.
is down there, but you know, I never seen a, I have to check on the meter, but I'm sure, now that I think about it, yeah, that was out there too.
So basically, we do have enough in our regular account, but my question is, did we want to take it from like short-term asset account? It's $19,000, so
But it's all like parts?
it's
Yeah,
parts
it's
and all that.
on Unified's list.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
we cut a check for it already.
We did cut a check for it.
So did we? cut
Well,
a check?
we
Out of
cut
the
it out,
operating.
it comes out of operating, but my question was, are we gonna just take it from operating or do we need to transfer it from another one of our accounts and transfer the money in?
What was our
We got,
monies
there's plenty.
in operating revenue? Then it should come from operating revenue, I would think, because it's all items that are even less than our short term. I mean, it's all parts, right? It's distribution maintenance.
Well, it's parts and it's an air conditioner and
The list is in there underneath if you wanted to look under Unified and you want me to look for it.
I mean, what was your feeling of the AP committee?
well, I was just thinking that it's like a short-term asset. So I was thinking it should come from the SLA account. That was my thought, but I mean, whatever the board wants to
None
do.
of them are expensive enough to be an actual asset individually though, right? Or is the air conditioner?
I'm not sure.
Is that correct, Johnny? There, what, it's like meter?
There's a meter, I suppose that could be an asset. Most of the rest of the stuff would not be an asset, it
Oh,
would just
with the
be,
check.
it would just be repair parts and distribution parts.
With the check? No, I already took that call, but I was wondering.
Oh, well, that's.
Did you hear that, or should I repeat it?
I heard that most of it was not,
The meter and
That's-
the meter is only, the meter and probably the air conditioner is only two assets that I would.
so the
consider.
AC unit was $9,000, so
Yeah.
that's definitely can be
Yeah,
an
that's an
asset.
the meter is, you know,
The valve flange with hand wheel was over 1,000. There's a couple of things over 1,000, everything else is.
Well,
yeah, and those are the same
Less than
thing that
that.
we typically throw in with the distribution system, although this one will be used in the next well, so it'll be in well 8. So then it will be an asset in well 8.
I personally, just if you want my personal opinion, would make the things that are assets and take that money out of the SLA. And the rest of the money I would take out of distribution because it's distribution. So even though we paid 19,000 out of here,
right,
I would make sure that Deborah writes them correctly as assets and then add that up and take that amount out of SLA.
The only thing is with the valve, and the meter, and ultimately the air conditioner, we're gonna assign them to well 8.
right, but she can transfer that over, I think.
Yeah, of course, I'm just saying for the classification, it's always an issue. We
Right,
gotta keep in mind
That can,
that it's not gonna be just a blanket asset for the distribution system, it's gonna be assigned to well 8, so I don't know if we could create a category for,
we already have a category for
For well
well 8.
eight,
I
even?
believe, Deborah, don't we already have a well 8 that's waiting? Or we had the ability to do that the way that we were
We
were breaking.
we have an asset category of procurement of well 8.
oh, okay, so we'll just add it to that.
So, yeah, so personally, I would take the AC unit, the valve, there's 2 valves. And not the pipe support, which is 1,000, the things over 1,000 each. And transfer just those, that would be my personal.
so you wanna get with Deborah?
Yeah, I'll do that next week.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay, that's all we had. That was the only major thing that I was questioning.
okay, so that was the accounts payable committee. How about the state update meeting committee? We haven't met yet for this month.
No, that's next week.
Okay, item 8, the ad hoc committee reports, planning project committee.
Well, we
It wasn't the,
we met and it's gonna be covered under the Lake of the Woods planning because we met about the change order.
oh, that's right.
That's the meter.
That's what I was gonna say, that's not planning, wait.
Well, no, that's the meter well.
Yes.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's the meter
Okay,
well.
I'm not to that yet. Planning project committee. I don't remember that.
It says right there.
That's the
Oh,
first one,
okay.
planning project committee.
You
Did
you
we
met under
meet?
the meter well
I don't
project.
believe we met.
Okay.
Second one, meter well project.
That's where you guys met.
Yeah, we met under the meter well project and we'll discuss that under the meter well when we get to it.
Okay, 2024 audit committee.
We have not met, we will next week.
We haven't, set. Easements and deeds committee, we haven't
Not
met
yet.
yet. Standby fee committee. They're both, oh,
We
you're here.
haven't met, but there was a public meeting, which is an agenda item.
Okay, rate study committee
We have not met.
and the T-Mobile lease committee, we did meet.
We did meet, we did contact an actual person. And, we have gotten nowhere with that, so we're gonna have to meet again. I did ask a friend who is an attorney if he knew a contract attorney. He said he would be willing to look at it as long as it would only take, if it wouldn't take any more than 2 hours. He would be willing to look at it and give us some advice. And it would be, pro bono.
Okay. I don't know if
So-
there's a-
That's something that, we can talk about, or
Would the rest of the board have an issue with that? I don't see how it would
No.
possibly be over 2 hours. It's basically just looking at what's going on in the couple of contracts that were written up and let us know,
Right.
if we're out of order asking for, what we're asking for, and then I guess we go from there, but we may need to hire an actual attorney.
But then he could advise us if we needed an actual attorney.
Right. So if the rest of the board does not have an issue with that, then I would say that we should, allow Director Kelling to, ask this person to maybe be on the phone with us or something when we meet.
Mhm.
And,
I don't know.
we should arrange a meeting. I don't know. This next Tuesday is potentially okay. I'm not up here on Monday most of the time, so yeah, I could do the 18th when I get back in the early afternoon. I have
Okay.
an
What time?
appointment at 10:30. I should look at 1.
Okay. I'll ask him.
Um,
Maybe we can buzz in here and I can give him things and then he can buzz in here and give us what he thinks.
Okay, so. Have that down. All right, anything else on any of the ad hoc committees? Okay, moving on to financial business, discussion vote on accounts payable financial information. This is Deborah.
Okay, we prepared one check out of the planning account payable to Young Woolridge for $97.50. We prepared 28 checks for a total of $59,294.66 out of the revenue operating. And the extraordinary disbursements include JPIA, $9,007.47 for employee benefit insurance. The primary visa was $3,282.72. A progress billing for the audit payable to BHK for $9,140. A disbursement to Edison for $7,100.07. And the Unified Field disbursement for $19,911.67. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Deborah?
No. I make a motion that we, pay our bills.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, roll call directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye. That motion passes 4-0-0 with 1 absent. So we will pay our bills.
Can I, comment on financial before we, let's move on?
Yes.
Question was asked when I wasn't there, when my back was hurt, why we rented a carpet shampooer. The thought was that we had cleaning people to do that. But it's, most of us know we do not have cleaning people. We do not even have bathroom cleaning people. We had the bathrooms cleaned for 1 month. And then we decided we wanted a quote on the whole building. And the person that Joan tried to get to call me has never called me, or if she did, she didn't leave a message. So I still have to try to find somebody else, but I asked Tiffany to put the bathroom cleaners on hold until we get a quote for the full office cleaning that includes the bathroom. So I want to get at least one more quote besides janitorial to bid on that. So anytime we do anything like carpet cleaning, which we haven't done that for about 5 years, we have to rent the carpet.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem. I was just
I was
asking you.
explaining that
Yeah,
we don't
just
have
asked
a
the
cleaning
question.
company, because I know
Right.
you asked about that, was I thought we had a cleaning company, but we don't have a cleaning company.
Right.
Next time, I've got one.
Well, next time, instead of trying to do it myself, we're gonna pay a carpet company to come in, because to rent it or to do it, it doesn't come out as good unless you have the industrial version. As you can tell,
But it still came out pretty good.
only because you're used to looking at it,
Well,
nowhere else. And there's still big spots everywhere, it's nasty. All I did was get the dirt out, the dust, so that was good. But anyway, so that's the deal, so hopefully I'll get some more quotes for housekeeping by the next board meeting.
Okay.
Hmm.
Anything else?
No, yeah.
Okay. Anything else from you, Deborah? Otherwise, we'll, say thank you and have a good rest of your weekend. Stay dry.
Enjoy your snow up there.
Okay, everybody. Oh, thank you. Have a good evening and good
Thank you, Deborah.
weekend.
Oh, wait, Deborah, before you
Bye-bye.
go,
Wait. Don't go.
before you go, there's a question on this that we may need to ask on this potential DWSR flags worksheet. Maybe we can move that forward because there was something that had to do with, there was something that was talking about monies, and loans and stuff.
Financial,
Okay, I move, let's see, where's that one at?
It's for the planning project.
Wait, how come this is out of order? Wait, I'm confused. Oh, this is. I don't know, okay.
So when does this one come up?
Oh, the local debt limit. Do any of us know if it's, yeah, can we move this forward before Deborah?
Well, that's
goes
what I'm trying
away?
to figure out, what number is it?
It's 13, but as far as the letter, the 13A, because it's part of that.
That thing, okay.
Part of the budget, yeah, so if you guys could move.
I'll make a motion that we move, 13A to now.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call directors, Director Garcia is absent, Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling.
Aye.
And Director Schoenberg's an aye, that's 4-0-0, 1 absent. So we are on this, but we're gonna start with, because there's other stuff under that item, but we're gonna start with this. This was sent to me today by the state, by Ruben. Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Program Potential DWSRF Flags Worksheet. I don't recall us ever getting one of these.
no, he answered your response after that and said it is a new thing that they're having done, and it seems to me the implication is that it's gonna help us because now they're having us self-certify that nothing substantial has changed. So that was his response to it.
Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, so we place a check beside each question or statement where our answer is yes or true. If you answer yes or true to any of the questions or statements on this worksheet, we recommend that you discuss the specifics of your answers with the State Water Board, Division of Financial Assistance staff at your earliest opportunity so we can identify issues up front that may require supplementary information or additional review time. So I guess I'm just gonna read each of these, and if you could bear with us, Deborah, and I'm sure need help from Carlos and Dee on these questions, and anyone else who wants to pipe in.
You wanna have Deborah just answer that question about the local debt limit that we have?
There-
'Cause the
there might
rest
be
of the
some-
There
stuff-
might be others, I
The
don't
rest of the
know.
stuff seems all,
I
Well, there's a
wanna
whole
make sure,
financial
because
thing
I
on it.
didn't read every single one of them, if Deborah's okay with that.
On page 4, there's a whole
Well-
financial.
You okay with that? Deborah?
Lisa, before you move on, what was this for? Was this for the application or?
This is
This for the amendment.
our amendment that we're asking for the planning.
Oh, okay.
And I've never seen this before, it's
Yeah,
new.
No, we filled it out before for funding applications.
You guys did, or because they're asking me to fill it out and sign it?
Well, we've done it before, but we can go over it,
As,
like you said.
as Fraser Park Public Utility
so this
District?
thing says from Ruben today, as of 12 o'clock, said the new amendment process on our end is requiring a self-certification that there have been no material changes to financial conditions and the potential red flags sheet meets this requirement. More current DWSRF projects are required to submit this form, and the amendment checklist asks us to verify this worksheet is current. Please let me know if you have any questions or I can help with this. So most of these questions, we're not gonna answer yes to, because then that requires
Well,
more
I hope we don't
talking.
have
No,
to-
I'm not saying,
I'm sorry.
I understand that. I'm saying that when you read it, what you had read was you have to discuss that with them. So if there's any truths, we have to mark them, but then we have to discuss that with them
Right.
is all. So I wanted to read what he had said.
Yes, but I couldn't, when I started looking at these, on my own.
Okay, can we just
I'm not trying to
Started.
talk you out of reading these. I was just telling you what he had said. You were talking
Why don't we
about,
just get
never seen
started?
it before. Yeah. Now, the legal part, are we gonna be able to answer those?
I don't know, that's why we need to read through them, because this was not something I was
Can we
willing.
start? If we can't answer it, then we'll have to delay it. But we'll go through each one. Why don't we just start?
Okay. Do you want to read those?
Sure. 1A, if you anticipate grant-only funding after reviewing and discussing this with your attorney, do you have any concerns regarding your ability to comply with Exhibit C, standard terms and conditions used for all DFA funding agreements?
Oh,
I don't think so. B, if you anticipate.
what,
Cause it's grant only funding, so
if you anticipate grant only funding, we do anticipate grant only funding, so what are you talking about?
do you have concerns regarding your ability to comply with Exhibit C?
Which
So
is
it's
the
asking, do you have
DFA
concerns?
funding agreement?
So your answer would be no for that.
Conditions for all DFA funding.
Okay, let's let Carlos answer this since he's actually filled these out before. He was saying something.
So it says right here what it was, is what I'm trying to read. It says what it is. Go ahead,
Well,
Carlos.
I would say that your answer would be no for that because you guys are anticipating grant funding only and you're gonna follow the regulations that they have.
Like I said, we just don't mark nothing on that one, and then we have to read B.
Right. And B, if you anticipate repayable financing from the board, or i.e. a loan, and we're not reviewing and discussing the form agreement and forms of opinion of council. Do you have any concerns regarding your ability to comply with the board's standard terms and conditions or provide opinion of council?
No, as far as I understand, we're not doing any repayable financing.
Okay, so-
Correct, Carlos?
Yeah,
Right, we're not. 2, is there doubt about whether your governing statutes allow you to finance your project through? No, there is no doubt. Is there existing or pending litigation with respect to your system's assets, water rights regarding the source of repayment of implementation of the project? No. Are there any existing or pending inquiries or investigations of your agency, members of the board of directors, key management by outside entities, for example, the grand jury? No. 5, was there a significant level of protest during the most recent rate setting process? No. 6, is there any existing or pending rate rollback initiatives on upcoming ballots? Or are there any efforts within the community to initiate a rate rollback? Have rates been rolled back in the past due to a voter initiative? No. 7, has there been or is there currently significant disagreement within the community about the project? No. 8, well, it's still no.
No, it's not a significant disagreement. It's not something, they don't even come to disagree, so.
There hasn't been, we've been doing this 10 years, Lisa.
I don't know.
And next,
8, will the project involve a public-private partnership?
no.
No.
No, since this is for Lake of the Woods, are they,
No, this
Are
is,
they-
this is for our funding agreement.
No.
Number 9, are you a small community or dependent special district anticipating that some or all of your financial assistance will be a repayable loan? No. Are you, 10, Are you a state agency, a Native American tribe, federal entity, or non-government entity? No. Are you a joint powers of, huh?
Aren't we considered a
No,
state?
we're local
No.
government.
11, are you a joint powers authority? Are there agreements with other entities related to the project? No.
We're not a joint powers authority.
No,
But there is an agreement with another entity related to the project.
no, there isn't. We don't have an agreement with them.
We
We're,
don't.
Yeah.
we're still in, we're still in process.
Negotiation
We
with
don't
it.
That has, that would, there's
Okay, 12.
12, do you need to purchase or otherwise obtain legal access rights to the project property for the term of the financing to implement the project?
We need to purchase or otherwise obtain legal access rights. Yes,
And we already did that.
we have not yet purchased the
rights.
rights
if-
to
If you answer yes, you just gotta, explain what you're gonna do, what's gonna happen.
So is 12 a yes? Would 12 in your opinion, Carlos, be a yes? And
Uh,
D?
I would say so because you're trying to get the easement and you're trying to purchase a property.
So that's 12 is a yes.
Does it say, do you plan to purchase?
Well, we're already in the process of doing that. We already,
It says, do you need to purchase?
we already
Yes.
gained the rights to it. Now it's just finalizing the actual payment of it.
No?
Yes, then you would just put yes
We
and then
need
explain
to
that.
purchase. I think-
Oh, I was thinking about, well, 8 aspects.
Yeah, but
The
there's
lawsuit.
9.
The lawsuit is what. I'm
Yeah,
looking at.
but there's
Yes,
the
we're
other
talking
one
about
too.
9.
Are you not the owner of all the system's property? Not currently.
So,
That's a weird.
So 12 and 13 would be true. Both of them would be true.
And I'm not positive that 11's not true also, because I do think,
No,
There-
I think you're
Yeah,
gonna
but we
open it.
don't have agreements
We
with
don't-
anybody else right now.
There is
Lake
no
of the
agreement.
Woods.
we do
Yeah,
have.
what agreement do we have?
We don't have agreements with them.
That's gonna be the MOU and all that stuff.
That's gonna be an
But I
MOU.
think there's
Lisa, I think you're gonna open a
I'm
can of.
signing this.
The attorneys know, I mean, the state is gonna know when we talk to them about this whole thing, so
Well, this is something you'll be talking to
12,
Ruben on
13.
Thursday about.
there's no liens on the system properties unless
Okay.
you found out something.
Okay, can we stop? So I'm gonna say yes, this isn't the original though anyway, right?
No.
No, it's probably has to be done online.
Okay.
And I'm assuming they give you space to explain?
It doesn't,
It's an online form, so we'll figure out where and how.
Yeah. Okay, 14, are there
not that
liens?
we know of.
So no. 515, do your property rights for any of the property need for the project extend for less than 30 years from the date of application? No. 16, does the application include purchase of land or other assets?
So that's
Yes.
true.
That's
Yes.
true.
So that kind of negates the part of the other one. I mean, doesn't negate it, but seems like a redundant question since we already
Right.
answered that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're just gonna explain that we did,
We're in agree, we're in a.
we
we're in
won,
agreement.
we're in legal process of obtaining the property.
Well, but you got, well,
In both properties,
In
in
both
all the
properties.
properties. we're-
Yeah.
all 3 properties.
Yeah. Okay, 17, do you expect to use eminent domain so that you can implement your project? Yes,
Well, we did already.
right, so that's all,
Well,
but
that's
you're
Is
gonna
that
have to
gonna imply
explain.
that we still need to? Do
No,
you expect to?
no, I think you just
Cause that
explain,
was, this thing right here was the big holdup where they would not do anything for us until we rectified that. So we need to talk to Alan about that because
So
we finally made it to where they were not concerned because we won the right to have the property. So if we say, yeah.
I would say no on that because we've already did, because you're gonna explain in the other ones that we used eminent domain.
Hmm.
And we're waiting for the court to give us the purchase price.
I would recommend that when we do that, if we have a place to upload a document, that we just ask Alan to write a brief letter description of the well 8 stuff and then. submit that.
Carlos, you've done this before. Go ahead, Dee.
I just wanted to
You have a
say
question?
one thing, and that would be, this would be, I'd say a no on 17, but it's real simple just to write a little explanation of what you meant, because they know that we use eminent domain, and they know that we were successful. But in order to remove any kind of doubt that we haven't been successful regarding that, it's a no, so you don't put a check, but then write down below number 17, we used eminent domain to obtain well number 8 for the project. And the judgment has been rendered in our favor. We have possession of the property. And that's all you need to say. And they know it, we know it, and we're totally honest about really what happened, and we don't need to use it again. So, just being totally open, and it's a no, but here's item 17. This is what we did. And
Carlos, you've done this form. Is that something on this form, or is it just the checklist?
What do you mean? Is that something on this form that you explain?
He's telling me that he wants an explanation on there. Does the form give you the ability to do that, or should we be discussing this at the meeting on Thursday?
I would just, you got to explain some of these things already on a piece of paper. And so that would be attached to this. And then it would just be one of the things that you address, because you got some yeses. So, you're already going to be detailing some of these things. So then you put in number 17, that's a no, but this is what we did, just FYI.
The only thing is with this form, since the checklist, it doesn't ask for no or anything other than a true or a check mark. And it says specifically to discuss it with them. So I would suggest you talk to Ruben.
Which holds us up,
about
but
this.
it is
Well,
what it
he's
is.
the one we have to submit it for,
Yeah.
is Ruben. So he should be able to answer that aspect of it.
Yeah, but you guys will have a meeting on Thursday, so it's
That's
not
what I'm
holding
saying.
it up
And
that
that's
much,
discussing
you
it
know.
with him, and then you don't have to worry about writing anything.
Or you could,
And do you normally do this, Carlos, or does the entity do it?
It depends, because they haven't been, they've been making people do this as of late with the newer application version. But we've done potential DWSRF flags worksheet. So basically, like Johnny was saying, you check if yes or true, and then you discuss it with state water boards. And usually this worksheet goes attached to the general information package. And this is to the newer version of it. So they just barely started making this like a requirement, but it's been done before though. So just like the instructions say right there, answer yes or true. If you answer yes or true to any of the questions, you just discuss the specifics of your answers with the state water board, division of financial assistance at your earliest opportunity. Like Dee says, you can say, you can tell Ruben, hey, this is a no, but that we went through eminent domain and we already acquired. You can give a little explanation to that.
Or if you feel better about it, if you like to have stuff in paper, you just send an email saying regarding 11, 12, 13, this is what we're doing, and that would be discussing it with Ruben. Because the checklist seems to pass up the line, is what I'm saying.
I'm not okay being the person who's doing that when I don't know how it's supposed to be written up. I mean, it's great, but
I mean, it says right on the front, you read it, how it's supposed to be. You only mark it if it's true, or you did.
No,
and you-
she doesn't know.
And then you discuss it with them. Now, I'm just saying we need to discuss those.
okay,
things
so
in
let's
email.
just talk to him on Thursday and find out what he wants, what they want. If they,
Yeah, I think that's the best idea.
okay,
You
that's
have a
fine.
state update meeting on Thursday, and this is gonna have to be part of your discussion.
But we still should go through the thing. So we mark what mark what's true and what's not, and then you know what we need to discuss,
Right.
so that we can get it done on Thursday, because once you give it, because this is gonna hold up us getting the amendment if we don't get it in.
Well, yeah, but
And I read this and I believe it's only gonna be those questions that are.
Okay,
The rest of them
technical,
will get.
we're on to technical, one.
Yeah,
do you
usually
anticipate-
like Johnny's saying, usually most of these are not true.
I know, but we need to go through it
I'm
while
not
the
saying
board
Yes.
is here. Let's continue forward so we can get it done. One, do you anticipate the plans and specifications will be out for bids within the next 6 to 12 months? No. Two, the project bidding is complete, but the specifications, no. We haven't, well, the project bidding isn't even done. Three, you are an urban water supplier and your project is a water management project.
No.
No. Okay, four, is this a regionalization project or will the project be a joint effort with other agencies?
yes.
Yes.
So that's the truth.
So that's a yes. Cause that's with, Lake of the Woods, right?
Yes.
Okay. Five, the plans and specifications have not been reviewed or approved by the Division of Drinking Water. That's a no. Six, do you have policies and procedures to solicit, evaluate, select candidates?
Just back up for a second. It says the plans and specifications have not been reviewed and are approved, so that would be true. That would be a true statement.
The
They have
plans
not been,
have not been reviewed.
They have been reviewed. Haven't they been reviewed, Dee?
for permitting purposes, it says. So they did make some comments, so yeah. But would you consider that they've been approved?
Because the final approval of the other plans he's doing is for the
Yeah.
construction part of this project, correct, Dee?
The plans and specifications have not been reviewed, it is true, and approved by the Division of Drinking Water for permitting purposes. So that is a true statement. But again, this is one of those that you say, yeah, they haven't been approved because we're preparing them right now. You know, so, just additional information that you can give these guys that removes all doubt. So, but it is a true statement.
Let me comment. So I would like to know, Dee or Carlos, who would be responsible for that, because I don't think as the board president, I'm necessarily responsible for coming up with the answers and the specifics on all of these.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking the responsibility. Johnny, you probably wouldn't mind it either. So,
Well, why don't we have the meeting with him and then we can discuss whatever we said true. And then we'll say, okay, what do you want us to do, Ruben? And if it has to be done on the computer, we'll get with, maybe we have a meeting with Dee and Carlos.
And just so everybody knows, it's name of authorized representative. D could fill out the whole checklist and submit it as long as he's authorized to do it.
in fact, I already went through it.
Except he said he was gonna do it, so Dr. Rubin then authorize somebody to do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not specifically you, Lisa.
But that doesn't need to be
Well-
answered right now, so. Why don't we
Okay.
move on?
6, do you have policies and procedures to solicit, evaluate, and select candidates for professional services using a fair competitive selection process based on demonstrated competence and professional qualifications consistent with California government code? I assume so.
That is true because D does that. The engineer does
Okay.
that.
7, do you anticipate the project will be implemented in phases with multiple bids?
No.
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 No?
Okay, 8, do you anticipate the project will be implemented with a design, build, delivery method?
No. It's a no.
Okay, so here we're going on to environmental. 1, the environmental documents have not been prepared for the proposed project.
True.
True.
That's another one of the truths that, we answer and we say
Partially,
we are working on it.
Right. 2, the environmental documents were not prepared to meet federal cross-cutting requirements.
No. They were not.
That's no.
Yeah, that's a no. They are prepared to meet the federal cross-cutting requirements. I hate double negatives.
Yeah. 3, will the project impact any cultural resources? No.
We don't know yet. Right? Because we don't have all of the environmental
Yeah,
documents.
so we don't mark true because we don't have the documents yet. We already marked, we don't have the documents, so.
Yeah, we say, again, we say no, but then we put a little note down here, environmental number 3. We are currently preparing our environmental documents.
Well, it doesn't ask us for no's, it only asks us for yeses, so it doesn't give us a place to explain it. It only wants a true or a yes response.
Well,
But that's
Yes,
an
but you
unknown.
you could still explain stuff to DFA.
And that's
So
what the
even if-
environmental report will tell us, right? So we said we don't have environmental done. So that should tell them that we don't know if there's any cultural.
I know, that's why you're gonna tell them that you don't have the environmental done for that specific question.
So I don't think we answer any of the rest of it because we don't have the environmental documents prepared.
yeah,
True.
it can go either way, but I like to be open with these guys, and the more open you are, the more open they are with you and willing to cut you a lot of benefit of the doubt if they know that you are being totally upfront with them.
See,
So,
we're overthinking this. These questions just need to be answered, and you need to explain your answers to DFA, and that's the bottom line. It's not, they're
Can
not
we
trick
authorize-
questions.
Can we authorize you, Carlos, to fill this out since you filled it out before?
I can help, filling them out, but it's still the authorized representative has to sign it, which is the president.
It doesn't say president. Is that who has to sign it for sure?
Yeah, because
It just says
usually the authorized representative is the president of the board.
okay, Lisa,
I know it doesn't say that, but she got it, and that's why she's feeling uncomfortable, because she doesn't have these answers.
Right, but that's why we're trying to find out the true answers so that we can go over it on Thursday and then we can get with D. Jasper and Carlos. I don't see
Yeah,
what's so
because-
difficult about this.
Because in all honesty, I myself or D wouldn't have all these answers either, because we'd have to come to the board to ask some of these questions, because usually the board would know. I mean, D would know a lot of the technical stuff, but the board would know more about stuff that pertains to the system. Like, do you have outstanding debt? Do you have lawsuits? You would know those answers more than we would.
Well, we've already answered that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
think the
But
board
we can get
should
together. We can get together and put our heads together and answer these as best as we can, and we just have to explain them to Ruben.
I think
The ones that we
need
say
to know
yes.
from Ruben if they need an explanation attached to that, or if we just can say, yes, we have not prepared the environmental documents, and therefore we don't know the answers to any of the additional questions on this page.
Since just discussed it with him, so hopefully that'll be enough. It says specifically discussed. Look on page 1.
Yes.
Discuss with the financial, because it's just a checklist. It's not a legally binding major
I know,
document.
but Dee's saying to put explanations for it.
I know, so if we can, we will, but Tiffany's the one that said it's an online form. So anyway, let's go through the
And I'm gonna
financial
fill
part,
one of these out.
what you're saying. The environmental will have to ask Tom Dotson if we're really worried about having everything exactly right.
And we're back being the lead agency, correct, Dee? Now, it's not gonna be LAFCO.
it won't be LASCO, it'll be the
For
district.
11.
Yeah, the district is the lead agency.
Okay, financial. 1, is the entity status suspended with the Secretary of State?
No.
No. 2, if nonprofit is an entity unable to provide a copy of its tax exempt confirmation statement from the IRS.
Are we able to provide that?
It's gonna be NA. We're not technically a nonprofit, but we're also not technically a corporation.
Okay, so NA in that box. 3, are you planning to pledge a repayment source other than net revenues of your water enterprise fund? No. 4, are your annual revenues currently insufficient to cover annual expenses?
No.
No. 5, will you be requesting approval of your DWSRF financing before rates, assessments, or other charges used to support repayment are adopted?
No.
6, are you missing any portion of the necessary project funding aside from what is being sought as part of this application?
No.
No. 7, have you ever failed to make timely and sufficient payments on existing loans in the past 10 years? No.
Okay. Are there additional funding sources that are gonna be necessary? Cause I don't think you read that question.
No, we
6.
said that
It says, please enter NA in the box if no additional funding sources are necessary.
Well, then we'll put NA in there because, this is for the planning. This has nothing to do with construction. 7, have you ever failed to make timely sufficient payments on existing loans in the past 10 years? No. 8, do you have outstanding fines or penalties due to non-compliance? No. 9, do you have any existing debt that relies on the same source of revenue as the source you plan to pledge for repayment of? Well, no.
We're not repaying,
Right,
correct?
so
So Carlos, this is considered that we're not repaying any of this. This is just
yeah,
this is not
Yes, I
for
would
the.
say- I would say no on
for
that.
the plan.
10, do your existing debt covenants affect your ability to incur new party debt or non-compliant with existing debt covenants? No. 11, will the project be co-funded with funding other than the drinking water? No. Remember, this is just for the planning amendment. This is what we're doing. It has nothing to do with construction. 12, was the last rate study completed over 5 years ago?
That would be true, right?
No.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's not true.
13, have you had a prior material event such as bankruptcy, default, unscheduled draw on reserve funds, substitution of insurers, or failure to perform, or unscheduled draw on credit enhancement in the preceding 10 years? No. Okay. 14, are you subject to a lien on any portion of the system's property? No. 15, if you are a government entity, do you have a local debt limit?
I don't know. So this question, what is a local debt limit? I don't even know what that is.
That's why we asked,
Who's gonna
Deborah
answer
stay on the
that
phone, so-
question?
Yeah, you can come back to that one because I'm not sure on that one either.
16, have you taken any actions anticipation of the sale of significant system assets? No. Have you taken,
Is that, okay, so that question, Carlos, 16, does that have to do with, I mean, at any time, actions in anticipation of the sale of significant, yes, we've done stuff thinking about the sale of significant system assets dealing with our property, but does that have anything to do with this? Or
we haven't taken any actions. We've not taken any action.
we have an ad hoc.
as significant system assets, what's this significant system asset? None of the system, we're not selling off any of our system. We talked about some properties that.
I don't know, cause this is worded really not well. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm
Yeah,
not happy.
Well, debt limit, just so you know, is a statutory constitutional constraint on the amount of debt that local government can incur or have outstanding at any one time, typically expressed as the percentage of the issuer's assessed valuation. So I have no idea how you would even find that out. Never heard of it. And in all the.
Do you know about that, Carlos?
No,
Oh, you
I've
said-
never heard of that either, but, I mean, the ones that you're really iffy about, you can ask, or I can look into it as well, but you can ask somebody with more knowledge on that.
Well,
Okay,
let's start with Ruben.
17. Have you taken actions in anticipation of restructuring, dissolution, or filing of bankruptcy protection? No. 18, have you had a ratings downgrade within the last 12 months? No. 19, are you in compliance with general accounting principles as issued by the Government Accounting Standards
So
Board?
Deborah, on our last audit, they said that we're in compliance, correct? That's a Deborah question. Are you in compliance with the generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, which is the thing our accountants are always doing, as issued by the Governmental Accounting Standards Board or its successor? We're in compliance with that, correct? Is that, isn't
Yes.
that a yes?
Yes, we are in compliance.
And number 20, have you received audit findings in the last 3 years?
Yes.
Yes,
So that's,
We've
yeah,
received audit findings, correct?
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, that wasn't, they weren't negative. Are those considered findings or is that not considered findings? Cause it's not negative findings, correct? Did they say, I think it's a no, actually. Because our audit, when they do the audit, Deborah, doesn't it say,
It does say findings on it.
no, it says not, nothing non-substantial
that's right.
findings or something.
Yeah,
Right.
you're doing nothing wrong.
Do you remember?
Your audit findings didn't have anything substantial, as far as, not being in compliance. You are in compliance.
Right, so really it wouldn't, so
So
have
that's a
you
no.
received audit findings in the last 3 years should be a no,
exactly.
correct?
Yeah, because your last audit is fiscal year 2024.
So she said
Right,
yes.
but
But the last 3 ones we've had, the last
She's-
3 years, we've not had any substantial
findings.
findings at all. So it's a no.
That is correct.
It just says audit findings, I mean.
Okay,
Okay.
I don't know, that's what I'm saying, it says audit findings, I'm assuming they mean substantial
Like
findings
something
that are
that
an
matters.
issue.
Okay, thank you, Deborah, we're done now, right?
Okay, that was the only things that, yeah, those couple of things, Deborah, thank you.
Okay, have a good
Have a
evening.
good weekend.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Deborah.
Thank you.
So we're going to ask on Thursday if they require or would like paperwork we're going to explain to Ruben our answers that are yeses.
Right, we'll go over it with them and
And
tell
then
them
ask if-
and ask what we need to do.
They want from us.
You know, whether we just, do we attach it or do we do it online? And do you want explanations?
Okay. Okay, do we want to back up and go to the closed session and then come back to 13?
Or just wait until 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what's going on.
Let's go
You're
to
just.
the closed session.
Okay, so,
Should be quick.
so we're gonna stop 13A and return to it for the other timeline budget issues, and we're going to go back on our agenda to where we were on unfinished business, items 10, 11, and 12. So, oral announcement prior to closed session, government code 54957.7A. A representative of the legislative body to orally announce the items to be discussed in closed session prior to any closed session meeting.
Good night.
Item 10, closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957, public employee performance evaluation. Oh, this is another one. Okay. Public employee performance evaluation, Government Code 54956.9, E, title Administrative Assistant Clerk of the Board. Item 11, closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Government Code 54956.9 D1, Fraser Park Public Utility District versus CNC Elite Properties LLC et al., Kern County Superior Court, case number BCV 24100199. Item 12, closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8, properties in discussion, parcels 256-070-54, 256-070-55, and 256-520-13. Agency negotiators Lisa Schoenberg, Brahma Nyman, D. Jasper. Negotiating parties, Jeff French and Emily Wainwright. Under negotiation, price and term of payment. So with that, we are going to go into a closed session. There's my phone. And the time currently is 5:01 p.m.
Closed session yet?
Not yet. So, am I assigning Becky only first?
I thought we'd do, the stuff with D
Okay.
and then do the internal stuff after D leaves, and then we'll have all the board members on right now. So,
So D and Becky.
Well, then you need to,
Well, he's saying that.
Pam, Carlos, Joan?
I'm here.
Okay. They
Hello there.
have one more item that, as you can see, item number 10, that they have to do in closed session. And so as soon as they're done, then they will come out of closed session on that item, and then we will reconvene on the regular session. Probably just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Dee.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay? My other headset died.
I hear you loud and clear, Pam.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
What are you guys looking at for weather up in Oregon?
Right now the sun is shining. It's been raining torrential all day though.
Oh, well, we had kind of the same thing here today and last night.
Yeah, Fraser Park got snow.
Yeah, how much? How much? Maybe Joan would probably know.
I think Fraser got less than Lake of the Woods and so on and so forth up the hill.
Yeah, yeah. Tess?
We got about 3 inches maybe, and we've had a little bit today, but nothing really significant. There was a shot from the overpass on the I-5 looking north toward Lebec, and you could see on the mountains above Lebec had snow, but Lebec and everything down by the freeway did not have snow.
Wow.
The photos on Facebook look beautiful though, of Lake of the Woods.
Yeah, they are pretty, and Pine Mountain Club obviously got a bit more than us, but Pine Mountain Club got under a foot of snow. Some areas 9 inches, some areas 11. So all in all, not too bad.
Any flow in Cuddy Creek?
No water flowing in the creek.
Darn.
Just need more weekends like this. Call them weekends because the weekdays, it's harder for people to get off the hill to go to work.
Yeah, yeah.
Although spring is around the corner, I don't think we're going to get much more.
Yeah, I think you're right. Beautiful views this afternoon with the sun on the Sierras and the valley under cloud. And you know, my favorite time of year is this time of year. It's really pretty, really beautiful green grass. And
Right? Are the poppies out?
not yet.
Okay.
Hey Dee, how's your back doing?
You know,
Yeah.
it's okay. I've got to be real careful. I can't twist, and so I'm, you know, I kind of got to keep that in mind. But otherwise, I feel fine. Less pain, and you know, it's just really where it hit me was walking long distances. It just, I would get to the point that I would have to sit down, and but the crazy thing about it was I could ride all day on a jarring horse and not have a bit of pain, and you know, just go about the normal day without really any pain. But if I were to walk more than 2 blocks, it would get to the point that I just couldn't hardly, you know, take another step. Had to sit down for a few minutes and kind of get relieve it. So they found a slip disc, and then, you know, scoliosis, I guess, is that what it is? Or stenosis in the lumbar area. So they cleaned that out and put the slipped disc back in position, and sewed me up and said, be real careful for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And so I'm really trying to do that, not lift more than 25 pounds. And so good thing we have grandsons that can come over and lift hay bales and do things like that. But I feel good. It's successful.
Are they having you wear a back brace whenever you are in a car driving in case you should be involved in an accident and it would make the disc slip back out again?
Oh boy, no, they didn't. But believe me, that thought, you know, has occurred to me, and you know, just or falling, or doing something, slipping on, you know, an icy surface or a wet one. So, you know, you kind of have to think about that stuff a little bit now. And I sure wouldn't want to have to go do this again. But yeah, it's a concern. But they, you know, didn't give me a back brace or anything like that.
Well,
I'm
that's
glad.
good.
Yeah, I'm glad everything went smoothly.
It did. It did. Had a great surgeon. He's, I think, just 65, 66 years old. Has done this for, you know, his entire career. He's a back surgeon, and so he really knows what he's doing, and that was reassuring.
Well, I'm glad that you are pain free and will continue. If the healing goes correct, you'll be able to walk for miles.
Yeah, that's I'm looking forward to that, Joan. You know, and it's just the kind of thing that you know, you start feeling halfway good, you don't have the pain, and then you start pushing a little bit and you shouldn't. So I'm really trying to, follow doctor's orders because I know down the road, that'll be the benefit.
I know I can spend the day on the tractor and on the backhoe and I'm fine, but when I get off and the ride home, it's at that time that everything locks up.
No kidding. You operate a backhoe, Joan?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Maybe you could give me some lessons someday.
It's fun.
Gosh. We had to rent a backhoe this weekend. Actually, we had a horse that we had to put down, 28-year-old horse, and she just finally gave it up, and so we had to put her to sleep, and then we had to get her buried, and the ones that we've had for a long time we bury on the ranch, and so we had a backhoe delivered and an operator, and one of our friends actually has backhoe and operates it, and dug a really deep hole and gently put her in it, and covered it back up. And so we have kind of a hill where we have now, I think, about 5 horses that, we've had for a long time, and they're buried there. So I was marveling at how well and smoothly a good backhoe operator can operate one of those pieces of equipment. So I should have called you, huh?
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll just run right over with my backhoe. Where is your ranch located? I've never known.
About 15. Well, we lease one that we've leased for about 20 years up in Glenville, which is about 35 miles northeast of Bakersfield, up around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. And then we live about 15 miles north of Merle Haggard Boulevard, or 7 Standard Road, on Porterville Highway, and north of Pozo Creek about 5-6 miles. And so that's where we have some property there. And then further up the road, we have more property, and it's all grazing property. And so in the wintertime, we bring the cattle off the mountain, and they graze down in the valley, and it's warmer. And then in about a month, we'll be loading them in a truck and taking them back up to Glenville. So
They gotta love all these green grasses coming up then.
Yes. Yeah, it's good to have the rain, and through the winter, we've really been blessed with rains that, occurred just in time to keep the grasses growing. And so we've got this an inch just last night, and probably about a half an inch today. And so, that's keeping the grass coming and giving us a few more days to graze it down here, and then take the cattle on up. But we'll have to brand the calves here and take them up separately from their mothers, because you can't load a cattle truck full of cows and put calves underneath them. And so we take them up in a different load, but we don't drive them because we just don't have time. We've considered it and looked at it going both ways, and it is just too time consuming, and we have to make arrangements with friends that are on the trail, where we can keep the cattle overnight. We'd have to take probably 2 overnights. And we have to have water, have to have feed, have to feed the crew. And, you know, we've participated in quite a few cattle drives and know what that entails. And so for our herd, which isn't all that big, you know, we can load them on about 3 or 4 cattle trucks and get them all back in place and do that in one morning rather than spend 3 days or 4 on the road. And it'd be fun, and we've really thought it, you know, it would be really, you know, something that would be enjoyable, but we just don't have the time.
I don't even know how you have time to have that business plus this, being an engineer.
Well, we live on it, which makes it much easier. We had a cowboy that worked for us for lots of years. And so he took care of the day-to-day, and, you know, we have to worry about it. He and his wife were killed last year in an automobile accident on Highway 65.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was tragic. And
I was just thinking your Yellowstone show without the drama until you just said that.
yeah, it was a sad situation. And you know, worked for me for 20 years and you know, just knew the ranch as well as I did, and probably better. And you know, could do all the things that need to be done. Now we have some friends that do it, and our sons-in-law, Curtis and Jeff, and the kids, the grandkids, help out for now. And we're looking for somebody else that can, you know, replace Richard, who worked for us for so long.
Yeah.
It takes quite a while to find just that guy that can do it all. And, you know, it's not just riding horses and branding calves and roping cows and all that stuff, but everything else that goes along with it, feeding if you need to, mending fence, keeping the water on, making sure they have water, moving them from field to field if you need to. And so, you know, and we have some friends that help us, you know, that understand the situation we're in.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah. So did you say Curtis is I thought Curtis was your son. No, he's your son-in-law?
Son-in-law.
Oh,
and
all
Jeff,
this time I thought he was your son.
well, thank you. Yeah, I would be blessed if he was, but I'm blessed to be his father-in-law. And he's a partner in the firm. And
yeah.
Jeff, our other son-in-law, civil engineer, also is.
Wow.
So, you know, and we have really great employees, guys that really, you know, they take the projects personally and they put a lot of effort into it, which makes my job much easier. And
well, it sounds like a family business. Are your daughters involved too?
No, one daughter, both daughters homeschooled their children. Both daughters have one left in high school, and actually Kelly has two in high school, one in grammar school. They homeschool, and Kelly's the one that has their own band, and they play at the Crystal Palace. They play up in Kernville. They play over in Paso Robles.
Yeah, I've heard you leave to go watch them.
It's
yeah.
You know, she's a math teacher. You know, and she grew up, you know, as a math, you know, loved math just like her mother and her sister. Both of them. Actually, Gail was a math teacher, retired now. And Becky and Kelly both were math teachers. And Becky now heads up a private school called Providence Academy, Classical Academy, where they give kids K through 8 classical education, which means reading, writing, and arithmetic, honoring the flag, honoring God, learning more about, reading the Bible, and
Mhm.
holding all the those types of things that make make good citizens out of kids, like we all used to, and go to school and learn all that, and which is really difficult to do now or to find in the public school system. And so Becky heads that school up, and they teach them some of the classics. The kids read some of the, Oliver Twist and all of those others, and they learn math and they learn science and biology, and they have a physical PE that they do, and they have to wear uniforms, all of them, and so nobody's dressed better than somebody else, and you don't get that going. And so anyway, she's been that for the last, it's a new school, 3 years now, and so she does that, homeschools one. No, actually now her youngest daughter, or Curtis and Becky's youngest daughter, goes to Becky's Academy, the Providence Classical Academy, and then and their son Toby, who wants to be a bronc rider, is doing pretty good. He has my old bronc riding saddle that he rides in now, and he's in high school rodeo, and he's in high school. He goes to high school full time, and Kelly's kids, they're on the golf. The two boys, one's a freshman, one's junior next year, and they're a senior next year, and they're both play football, both love golf, and so those are Jeff's kids, and so they're on the golf team, they're on the football team, and their daughter is in 8th grade, and she's homeschooled. So Kelly homeschools her, and so anyway, that's it. That's the family.
Sounds like a couple of them might come into the D. Jasper and Associates family, maybe the boys, or they might come into the ranch and help out.
Yeah, Carter, the oldest, Curtis and Becky's number 2 son, is a civil engineering major at Montana State University in Bozeman right now. And Jeff's boys are really good at math and science, and they're in high school now. So, they haven't declared one way or the other, but we've got our fingers crossed on that. And then Toby, the young one in high school for Curtis and Becky, he hasn't declared either yet. We're trying to twist his arm to, take civil engineering, once he gets to college, but he's got a few years to go yet. So he's having fun riding bucking horses and having, he's probably more of our, I'd say, he doesn't really, he is not influenced by what people think, I guess you might say. He's he makes up his mind and follows his own course. And so far it's been good. So glad about that. But
So it sounds like all of them are doing well. They're finding their own path.
they are. They are, and we're just praying that they continue that way. And so we think we'll get at least one civil engineer out of the whole bunch. I don't know about Jeff and Kelly's youngest. She's all involved in volleyball, and they run all over the state. Curtis and Becky are going to be up in Plymouth, California this weekend if the weather clears for Toby, he's riding a bronc up their state semifinals. And their daughter, didn't make the state semifinals, but she's a barrel racer and she's really good. She's a really good horseman and rides extremely well and has a pretty darn good horse. And, they're either hauling Cole, their daughter and her horse, or Cole and Toby to, junior rodeos and high school rodeos. So they stay pretty busy doing that on the weekends. And when they are, it's not every weekend, but it's once you.
Busy enough.
So anyway,
Yeah.
stay busy. They live about 2 miles north of us on another ranch property that we have just south of what's called Sherwood Road off Highway 65. So they're in the neighborhood, and like I see that Toby came up and fed tonight for me, which is nice of him to do, and that's on his way home. So, they drive by our house, and if, I've got a meeting that goes late or something like a back, surgery.
Yeah. They're available to help out.
Yep, they are. And Curtis does too. And, Jeff as well. They're both really good riders. They're good ropers. They can handle the horse really, really well, all of them. And, when we gather cattle and do things like brand calves, they're right in the middle of it. And so are the daughters. So Becky and Kelly as well. They ride well. Normally they let the kids, we let them take part in all the operations of what we do. It teaches them responsibility. It also teaches them where their food comes from. And they have to learn that. And they also have to learn that the job isn't over at 5 o'clock. When you're on a ranch, it's over when the job's done. And so they learn those principles. And, it's hard work and being responsible, along with the other things.
Yeah, being part of a family, working together,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
being there for each other.
Yes, yeah. So we're blessed. We just have a great family, and our sons-in-law are partners. Our daughters are involved in what they enjoy doing, and all of them love the Lord, and we hang together pretty tightly.
That's pretty awesome. I could see you and Curtis having that close relationship because I just always assumed he was your son because of the relationship.
He's great. He, is just an
I don't think I've met Jeff.
Oh boy, you need to meet Jeff.
Well, you and Curtis were the ones that were involved with Lake of the Woods way back when. So Curtis and I got to know each other through that project, and
Yeah.
you. And this one, I've gotten to know you a lot better with Fraser Park, of course. So I don't ever remember hearing Jeff. And if I did, I apologize. I didn't retain it.
I think when you met him, or if you were to see him now, you'd remember him. He was involved in, I think, the well that we drilled up there that, is, I think it's 7 or
7, yeah. And I was in infancy back then. I didn't even know who all the players were. I remember talking to Dave saying, okay, these are all the names. Tell me who they belong to, because I have no idea. Like, I was flailing around trying to identify who I was supposed to talk to about anything. It was crazy.
Yeah. Jeff does a lot of, he's involved in a lot of the treatment plant projects that we do. Of course, Curtis is involved in just about everything that we do.
Mhm.
Jeff takes care of a lot of those types of things, water treatment, wastewater treatment. Great personality, fun guy to be around, super sharp. just whenever I have an AutoCAD problem or something like that, I don't draft very much, but occasionally I do have to do something for maybe a feasibility report or something. And so, I can operate AutoCAD pretty well. I've been doing that for many, many years. But these guys are so fast. They're so quick and they know all the shortcuts. And so whenever I have a problem with AutoCAD, Jeff's just down the hall, and if he's in, I'll go down to his office and say, hey, I need a little bit of assistance here. He comes and solves the problem.
I
And,
bet.
but yeah, he's a great guy, just like Curtis.
Now, did the girls meet their husbands through you or through school for
Curtis,
them to be?
Curtis
Yeah.
and Becky, yes, at a company party. And Jeff and Kelly, they both went to Cal Poly. And Kelly was a math major, so and Jeff was an engineering major. And so I'm not quite sure, they were part of Campus Live for one of the Christian organizations there.
True. Yeah.
And so they met each other, and Kelly needed some help in math. I guess maybe I'll put that in quotes.
I was just going to say, she's the math teacher and the band player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes sense because band or music in general is mostly mathematical. So it just makes sense.
It is. It really
Hmm.
is. I didn't really know that or recognize it, but Gail tells me that all the time. She says that
Yeah.
is very mathematical.
Yeah.
Wow. But anyhow, yeah, they both, Kelly played volleyball at high school, and they won a national championship when she was a senior, their volleyball team. And they were honored at the Bobby Elias Hall of Fame. About a week or two ago, they honored the coach and the team and the
Wow.
whole team into the Bobby Elias Hall of Fame as the volleyball team national champions. And so there's a big banner in Centennial High School's gym that has the names of all the players that won that championship. And Kelly taught there after going through school, coming back. She taught there for, I think, 10 or 12 years. And so her boys go to Centennial, and I have no doubt that her daughter will too.
That's the one out there on Northwest Bakersfield?
Yeah, Northwest.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't realize it had been around that for a while. I don't know. Well, I don't know how old your daughter is, but I thought Centennial had only been around relatively new because I remember driving by and thinking the campus was fairly recent.
Yeah, it's relatively recent, but there's 2 or 3 more, maybe 4 new campuses that they've opened.
Okay. So the original was smaller.
Yeah,
Does that make sense? That it just expanded and got bigger. It's kind of like Bakersfield Christians expanded too. That's where my son went.
Yeah. And Bakersfield Christian's a great place to go.
Yeah, Knight was the one that really wanted to go there. He was like 6th or 7th grade, and Derek Carr had gone there, and so he told his dad about it. He's like, I want to check it out. He said that they had a 97% rate of going on to college.
Wow.
Graduate. Yeah, so that was pretty impressive to him. And
you knew Derek Carr, or he went to school with?
He didn't go to school with Derek Carr. He met Derek Carr. Darren Carr is a coach there, and so he taught night and PE and weight training. And then David Carr is an assistant coach there for the football team, and their dad is also a coach there. So the 3 of them are there. Derek actually came to an event because he went to high school there, and my husband and son both got to meet him. We're huge Raider fans, so that was like
All right.
Aw, yeah, and so they went to campus for, one of those days where they open the campus up for people who are interested in going there. And both my husband and son went, and like it was sold to them that day. They fell in love with it. So we made it happen. And he just, graduated from U of O this last June. So it
Wow.
worked.
In what?
In
What-
journalism, broadcast journalism, and he works at a radio station in Roseburg.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was listening to him a little bit while we were on break because he does the 5 o'clock news.
Oh,
So he wants to be a sports broadcaster, and he does a little bit of sports broadcasting with this radio station, not as much as he'd like. So he minored in sports business. So we'll see.
oh.
He at least has got a full-time job with benefits. So he's a productive member of society, as we say, has his own apartment, his own car, and he's still not totally off the payroll because he doesn't make enough to pay off his student loans and all of his, monthly expenses. But so mom and dad are still here for him for most of it. But once he gets there, we'll
Wow.
see.
Does she have an interest in what's her interest in does she have an interest in journalism or
Yeah. He does he likes to do the storytelling. So he'd rather broadcast and announce baseball because there's more of an opportunity and lull in the sport to talk and just, talk storytelling about the players, about how they made it through and where they came from and that kind of thing. So his journalism is mainly storytelling.
Wow.
He's written stuff at U of O, and he's done a lot of broadcasting through there. He did every sport from acrobatics and tumbling and volleyball and basketball and soccer and football and but now it's mostly the high school for Roseburg and a little bit of the local college. He did get to go to the Rose Parade or the Rose Bowl for U of O because they got to go. He was up in the press box, but he was tweeting everything.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool, but we shall see what happens. He's not, he's not sitting on his hands. He's still sending out resumes, trying to find a better job and something more sports oriented as opposed to news because he does a lot of news with this company and he's not fond of it. He wants to be doing sports. He lives and breathes sports.
Oh, it sounds like maybe, let's see, what's the name of the Outkick or Out? Is it Outkick? That's one of the sports oriented programs I think that are on TV.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
sounds like
I don't know which one that is, but this kid can retain data and stats like you wouldn't believe. He retains it like I do spreadsheets. So you know how I do spreadsheets. He just can retain it. He can know a player. He can retain it from 5 years ago.
Oh, that's good. Sounds like he has really what it takes. He's got the interest and he's got the smarts to really be really good at doing that.
Yeah, he's very self-motivated and he's a good kid. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
We only had one. We tried for more, but God knew what I could handle. He knew I couldn't handle the football player, so he gave me a broadcaster because I'd be the one out on the field saying, "Oh my God, oh my God," and definitely not a Bronco rider because I am not built for that. My heart would just be a mess.
Well, I'm sure that my daughter Becky
feels the same way. Yeah, I'm sure. There'd be days.
A rough sport for sure.
It is. I couldn't do it. No way.
Toby is our dreamer. He's the guy that, has the big ideas and, really enjoys that sort of thing. So it'll be interesting to see how far he carries it. We all want him to go to school and get a responsible job, and he can do maybe join the Cal Poly rodeo team or something when he's in college. But hey, don't be aiming at that for a living. But
Yeah, it sounds like he's got an itch to be more in the ranch business than anything else.
he does. He's great help, super help, and catches on real quick, and has been really a good help for me, especially after losing Richard. Toby, is
Stepped up.
yeah, he's yeah, really been a lot of help. Now David Carr is a big sponsor of Becky's school.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they had a fundraiser last Saturday,
Mhm.
but they usually have it at David Carr's house, and outside he's got and I think it's David, I'm pretty sure, and has a really nice setup for that type of thing, but it kind of outgrew their place, and so they had to move venues.
It makes sense because he's probably got his kids going to that school, right? Because they're fairly young.
Yeah,
Nope, it looks like everyone's coming back. I
Oh.
really enjoyed your conversation though, Dee. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, folks, we're just waiting on Director Gibson to come back in the room. And then I will open it back up from closed session. And I believe, was that her?
No. I hope she pushes it. Does she have to push something?
No. Cause she's on the phone.
It
Yeah.
just takes a minute.
The phone
60
takes
seconds.
Yeah.
To automatically do you think?
On the computer, you can push the,
Yeah, now it's flakes. Before it was like hail.
Well, yeah, because it's getting later. It's starting to get cold, so it'll stick tonight.
Okay, there we go. So, we are returning from closed session at 6:08 PM. Oral announcement following closed session, Government Code 54957.1A. The legislative body of any local agency shall publicly report any action taken in closed session and the vote or abstention on that action of every member present thereon. So on item 10, Government Code 54957, Public Employee Performance Evaluation, Government Code 54956.9E, Title Administrative Assistant Clerk of the Board. We did have a vote. We wanted to, first of all, we did the Public Employee Performance Evaluation. We found that our employee is exemplary in her handling of the position, and there was almost next to highest marks or highest marks on the things that we looked at. And so as a board, we took a vote to give a 2.5% adjustment raise now and then in addition, she'll have her normal 2% annual in May. And that 2.5% raise is for additional work that has been performed and will be performed due to having to change the website over probably to a .gov, and also having to do all kinds of new compliance, state compliance things with the website. I don't know what it's called exactly. So we would like to thank you, Tiffany. The vote was 4-0-0 with one absence. And so we voted on that 2.5% raise to happen immediately, and then the normal raise to have the normal 2% to happen in May.
Do I need the motioner and seconder on that?
The motioner was Brahma Nyman, Director Nyman, and the seconder was Kelly.
Okay.
and then closed session.
Okay, and then as far as items 11 and 12, there was no actual action taken. We will be doing the action in open session, which has to do with purchase of property. So we didn't actually do that in closed session. So now we are back on 13A, since we didn't finish that. And that's discussion, vote, review of the project timeline and budget. 13A, do you
Excuse me.
have any additional? Yes.
I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling well at all. And I can't hear very well. And so I'm going to exit the meeting.
You need help?
Okay, thank you
Okay.
so much for your participation, Director Gibson. Feel better.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
Do you need help, Becky, or are you okay?
I'm okay.
I'm almost there, but I can't do that, so, because we wouldn't have a meeting, so there we go. Okay, so, 13AD. Do you have any additional, I know we have some things coming up at the state update meeting, which is gonna happen, next Thursday, that's that stuff we were going over earlier with having to do with the amendment. Is there anything else on the project timeline and budget?
No, I think we covered that last time, Lisa. We revised the timeline, added about a month's worth of time, and sent that out to Ruben at the state. And then I followed up a couple weeks later with you guys with the Excel chart, which is much simpler than the Gantt chart that I sent you out earlier, much easier to read. So the project completion date went from the end of May in 2026 to the 1st of July in 2026. So add the month of June to that. And
Any questions on 13A?
No.
Okay, 13B, discussion vote on the acquisition development of well number 8. I know, we are still waiting for the court to give us a date. We don't have that as of yet. Do you wanna, just, say a little bit more about that, Dee?
well, the court has to set a date when they argue or consider arguments for how much we pay for the property. We have an appraisal, the only appraisal that is in court for the property, about 9,000. And the owners have the opportunity to have their own appraisal at our expense and decided not to do that. And so there's just one appraisal. We don't know where it's going to land, but and further, the attorney for the landowners excused himself, removed himself from the case. And so they're looking for a new attorney. And so as far as we know, they have not found one yet. And so the case has been delayed officially through May, and it may be delayed even further depending on probably what the judge really wants to do with this thing. But right now we're kind of in a holding pattern on that.
Thank you, Dee. Okay, 13C, discussion vote on the acquisition development of the well number 9 and additional booster and tank site properties, certificate of compliance, lot line adjustment, and property appraisals. And I believe
Okay.
we want to take some action in this area.
I make a motion that, upon receiving of a clear title, that we will outright purchase, well site 9 for the, appraised value that was agreed upon, and the, and that we outright purchase the Bear Court property for $98,000. that we go forward with purchasing the property.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a seconder. Are there
And we
any,
take that out of our long-term asset account.
okay, are you okay with that, addition? Since you
Yes.
seconded before that? Okay, so we have a motion, a second, and, are there any questions or discussion on this before we take a vote? Okay, Director Garcia is absent, Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson. Oh, it's absent. Oh, that's right. So
Yeah.
absent. Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, so that's 3-0-0, 2 absent. The motion does pass.
So can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
So since you guys approved it, now the ad hoc can, make fine tune discussions with the agreement and stuff. And the purchase of it, like, cause it's been a little while, so now you guys can approach them and say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna offer what you asked or what you said
They,
and buy that.
as far as I know, that was what the agreed upon price
I
was.
believe that's what Dee was saying.
Yeah, so Dee we're just instructing Dee to go forward with Alan to
Make the agreement.
Yeah,
make
to
the
make an
agreement, make an agreement that they can sign and then we can,
And- And that doesn't include the payment for the lot, for the
Yeah,
adjustment that
yeah.
we've discussed previous to
Cool.
this, so.
In the meantime, with Dee doing all that, we'll be getting the title search back.
And yeah, and that all hinges on the title search showing a clear, ownership
title.
of the property.
Alrighty, that's good news.
Okay, so that's gonna go forward and that's gonna come out of you guys get to it, out of the, long-term capital asset account. Okay, 13D, discussion vote on LAFCO work. Is there anything additional right now? I don't think so.
I would like, to go ahead and submit the application. But I need a $750 check to LAFCO to do that and Johnny's signature. And, so those two things, and then the package is, ready to go.
that's for our
And-
sphere of
and
influence.
That is our sphere of influence boundaries.
So can we, board, approve that check and we could, get signatures on Monday if Deborah comes in and all that?
Yeah, we need to make a motion.
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve submitting the application for LAFCO and that we have Deborah in between the meetings, make a check for $750 for LAFCO. And we go ahead and
Give that to Dee.
get signatures and get it to Dee. So
Is
it
that
can be
Monday
submitted.
good for a signature and a check, Dee?
Say again, Johnny, one.
So
Is Monday okay for my signature and a check?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no problem.
Monday or Tuesday, whenever I get Deborah to do it?
Okay, we need a seconder.
Weather permits. I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion second. I believe he said that was fine. So it's whether, permits, but I think it's supposed to be okay. So are there any other questions, discussion on that? So that would be submitting our SOI boundary to LAFCO for approval. Okay, roll call directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson is absent. Director Kelly.
Aye.
And Director Schoenberg is an aye, so that motion passes 3-0-0 with 2 absent.
That's just 2 signatures or 3?
7:50.
2.
2 signatures.
Yeah.
Catch us in the park.
That's what I was thinking, I know where 2
Come on, let's
are.
move on.
13E is tabled. That's our MOU, our memorandum of understanding. We do know that we still need to, address some issues that have been brought up, and I think we need a meeting, but I don't think we ever set a time for that with Joan as far as going over some questions that she had. So that needs to, I don't know if that needs to happen.
No, I don't think it needs to happen now.
Okay, so we just need to get that happening. Okay, but otherwise that's tabled. 13F, Discussion vote on Lake of the Woods projects and consolidation. This is you, Lake of the Woods. Pam, take it away.
Hey, so I don't have a lot to share, just that Ruben is coming out on the 27th around 1:30 to see our site. I'm sure he's planning to see yours as well, right? On the same day? I think you guys were talking to him about that. And then we'll finalize our claim, and that's it. I have nothing new to report on the next grant or the well or the blending station because I shared all that last meeting.
And I'm sorry, that's on the 27th, you said?
Yeah, we have Ruben scheduled on the 27th of March for our final walkthrough. I thought at our last date meeting he was going to see your well. Am I wrong?
Do you know about Ruben's
Ruben's coming
well on the 27th?
No, I haven't heard anything from Ruben.
He did say that at our state meeting though, didn't he, Johnny, that he wanted to see you
I
guys
thought
too?
I wasn't at the state meeting.
Yeah, Johnny wasn't there. Yeah, he wanted some information. We'll double check with him at the state meeting next week.
Yeah, he's welcome. I mean, I'll make.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Make myself.
We'll be on that meeting before he comes out. Yeah, he just scheduled us,
Right.
I think yesterday or the day before finally.
Yeah, I think he might wants to go to the site that we closed out.
Like well number
Good.
7.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, Johnny, do you have any information for me? It looked like you were getting some paperwork for me. No?
No, I just have, the lab results for, well 5 was 1.5 fluoride and 9.3 nitrates. And well 6 was 1.9 fluoride, change, and 5.2 nitrates.
Oh, it came down.
No change in the well, levels in, for well 6.
And then, did you guys have any questions about my well production that I sent out? Dee, I don't know if you noticed that we added our meter volume as well on that spreadsheet. So you're getting well production. Yeah, it shows our meter production and, you know, our customer volume as well as our well production. So you'll see the differences there.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll be looking at that, Pam.
Okay. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Pam. Any questions for Lake of the Woods or anything else that Lake of the Woods wants to bring up?
I'm good.
Okay. 13G, discussion vote on claims and payouts. That's not happening yet. Correct, Carlos? Next week?
Yeah, next week, but I do have an update on why those claims came back short.
Rejected?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And it was my error. You know how you guys instructed me to remove the attorney invoices from the claim that I send out for the meetings. Well, I've been doing that, but then I totally missed putting them back in to send to the claim, so that's why they got rejected. So we'll be able to put them in. We'll be able to put those invoices back into the next claim, into this next claim, and then submit it when we can.
That's great. So it wasn't some weird thing that we were doing with
No, it's just
what we
I
thought
totally,
was covered. Okay.
yeah, I totally forgot to put them back in when I took them out.
Okay,
And
we'll forgive you
usually,
this time.
usually the state sends a message saying, okay, this claim, we're taking this out because we need documentation, and they haven't been doing that lately, so that I totally missed that.
Okay, that's good news. Okay, anything else on 13? Otherwise, I will go to 14. Okay, item 14, discussion vote update on FPPUD meter replacement project, emergency well supply project. 14A, well 7, I believe at this point is completely done.
Yeah,
Correct?
and, the change order that I signed. I don't know where that went. You guys each got one. It was all of the stuff that you approved. And Curtis put it on the actual change order. I signed it, I showed it to Brian real quick, and then, but Curtis said it's all the stuff you approved, and then I signed it and sent it back to Curtis, so. Thank you. He's right.
I think I have it. Yeah, I have it.
But I just wanted you to see what,
So with this, what happened is in order to, get approval of the, cost to come from contingency, we had to make a change order. That was a request from Ruben. So that, has been written up and that totaled $171,715.06. And so that changes the, all of the, contract as far as well 7, because well 7, if anybody remembers, there was a mistake made and the full amount was not, charged to the, or actually, above the full amount was charged, but the paperwork wasn't correct, is a better way to say it. So we had to do a change order. So that's good. So that's done, capped. We have all the materials. We have a check about to go in the mail for that. And we made a decision on how we're paying for that. So I think that's completely done.
cool.
So we can pull that off, I believe.
So it,
And I don't know if we can
14A.
pull everything, we're not quite ready to pull everything off, but
No.
A is done. So 14B, update on meter replacements,
Okay, that, I believe it's done for my purposes, and then today I got the as-built for the meters installation. The only thing I would like to do is ask, do you think, you guys could send it over and give me a big set of plans, made from the copy place, and then we'll reimburse you for it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no
Cool,
problem.
cause I got the digital copy that was shared via Google, so I saved that on the computer and I sent it to Corey. But I would like to have an actual set of plans, but they're actual as-built, so I'm pretty excited about that. So anyway, so other than that, I don't know what else needs to be done to remove that line item either.
I just leave it on there for another month.
Another month.
yeah.
And then we can see where we're at.
Okay, 14, and they finished off the
Yeah.
issue with the, mobile home.
You did.
Okay. So 14C, discussion vote on claims and payouts. Again, that's going to come up next, week.
I have a.
Yes.
Okay. So Oscar put together claim 36. It's gonna include all the progress payments and retention payments. So that's ready for you to sign. Tonight he sent me the form.
Okay.
And then Ruben, I think this has to do with the change order, but Ruben wants an email from you certifying that you're the authorized signer for project documents on the meter well project. It was weird because at first he said, do you have authorization? So I sent him the resolution, which authorizes the board president to sign. And he said, no, I need an email from the president saying she's the authorized signer for the meter wells.
Weird.
And I think it has something to do with changing that form 259 or something that Oscar
Yeah, it
was
has,
it has Director Gibson on it.
yeah.
Yeah, they're doing additional stuff.
Okay.
So he wants that email from you.
Is there specific wording that needs to be in there?
You should have been in the.
You were in the loop.
In that one?
Yep.
I don't know, I get so much emails.
I've been trying to text the board members to get an email so they know to look, but I didn't on that one.
That's the claim 36 bridge loan email?
No,
No,
That's another one from Ruben?
this is a.
This
or
one?
there's like,
Ruben.
I think there's 7.
Okay, here we go,
Email
I missed this. Fraser Park amendment was executed, blah. No.
So it has 7 emails in it on the chain. Says, hi Tiffany, I'm being asked for a letter of something. And the hi Ruben, I don't have any letters.
Okay, this is the
It would be
recent
Lisa
funding
Purcell.
agreement.
And he says, thank you for your response. I'm being instructed that we need something in writing from whoever is stated on the resolution. It should be designating Lisa as the new authorized representation. An email should be sufficient. Please let me know if you need additional
Cause
information.
he says he needs a copy of the authorizing resolution, but you sent that.
Yeah,
Attach the resolution. Letter or something in writing designating the new authorized representative. Apparently, the resolution wasn't enough, even though Lisa signed it as the president.
and then his last email says, just following up, we need a designee letter or an email from the current authorized representative.
So it can be, I think it should be a letter.
He
Can
gave
you-
2 examples in the email. He attached 2 sample letters.
Okay, can we do one? Can we just do it on our letterhead and all sign it?
Yeah.
Do we need it? I mean, we don't need it tonight, right?
Not tonight, but probably early next week if you're in.
Okay, yeah, if you just wanna call, if I can come in if I forget. Yeah, I would just do attach an old sample letter. Yeah, I would put it on our letterhead rather than an email.
Well, I understand that because you write a type of, I am authorized, Lisa Schoenberg.
It's a little
like,
weird.
what?
Yeah, it's a
It's-
little
yeah.
weird. I
Yes.
don't wanna do that.
It's
I-
self-authorization and it's
Right.
very strange.
It's
Yeah.
not really appropriate, I don't think. So-
I've had to do that with several of our vendors.
I know, but I just like, I would
Yeah.
like it on our official letterhead that Tiffany actually did and then I'll sign it. Like that way, it's not coming from, even though we have
Okay.
all this stuff, if you guys are good with that.
All right, we're good with that. Let's
Okay.
move on.
Okay, Mr. Nyman, Director, sir. Okay. Move on. Okay, so that's everything on that. So that was claims and payouts. 14D, discussion vote on the bridge loan payment and contract.
I'm working with Oscar now. He sent me a list of stuff he needs for the bridge loan application. So we're going through that.
Okay.
He did indicate though, that if we do take out a bridge loan, regardless of when the state reimburses us, we have to send them full payment by the end of September. He's expecting the state would
I would think we-
pay it off before then. He doesn't think that part will be an issue, but just in case, because we all know, state can be slow sometimes.
But either way, we'd be paying it, so we may as well buy ourselves a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so by the end of September, no matter what, because they have those.
Because
funds
maybe by
earmarked.
then we'll have a better idea on the Prop 218 stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Makes sense.
Okay, so anything else on item 14? Okay, item 15, discussion vote on pipeline replacement project. A, discussion vote on engineering and design. Anything changed with them looking at that or anything
Has Curtis
anything
responded?
additional?
Yeah, we
Curtis
sent,
has responded.
we had,
Go
a
ahead,
punch-
Dee.
we got a punch list from Jesse that had quite a few items on it. Addressed all of those and sent the corrected set back to Jesse last Friday, the 7th, I think it was. So we returned it just about immediately. So they,
Okay, so now we're waiting for him to comment again.
Yeah.
right.
Okay, and 15B, discussion vote on the project application. I believe we're just waiting on this. There's nothing else right now, right?
That's correct.
Carlos?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
just waiting
so,
to see if Ruben comes up with anything else that we need.
Okay, so it's in all the appropriate places and we're waiting again. Okay, anything else on that before I move on to 16? Okay, 16, discussion vote on the standby fee assessments.
So in your book, under the 16 tab, is the final draft of the engineer's report. And then in your paperwork pile, you'll find the 2 resolutions that will be passing you'll be approving the engineering report and the 2 resolutions at the meeting on March 27th. Greg asks that you review it now and you get your comments in by the 20th. because he can't do the changes on the 27th. Like, he doesn't want you to review it on the 27th and then give him changes, because at that point it's too late. So review the documents as your homework. Your last chance to provide feedback is on the 20th, and if we get no comments, then everything as is has to pass on the 27th.
Okay, can you, just help us remember that at the state? Just in case, nobody's said, I don't know, we won't
Okay.
be able to, with the ad hoc, we won't be able to pull the other, board members, but at least the two of us, if we had a question.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, any questions, you could just make a note, send it to me. Any changes, make a note, send it to me, but I'll remind you
Okay.
on the 20th, because it'll be an agenda item.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's good. I was wondering because we don't have either of our people from the ad hoc here tonight, so,
No.
right now, so I'm glad we have another, short while for that. Okay, so, anything else on that before we go on to item 17, the rate study? Okay, discussion vote on the rate study, 17.
Does anybody know anything?
I spoke to Jeffrey, the one that's gonna do the rate study, and he said that, he'd prefer to wait, for the work plan to get approval first before he starts on the rate study. But he says at the latest, he'll want to meet with you guys. I believe he said sometime in September at the latest.
Okay.
Okay, great, thank you, Carlos.
Does that mean we're not gonna make the January?
It's pretty close, but
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
He is, that's why he's saying at the latest, cause he will make that January
Pretty
date.
close.
Good.
Okay,
Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, item 18, continue discussion on district's record retention policy.
I recommend that we.
I make a motion that we table, this until the next
I was
regular.
gonna add another one to that too. The number 20
Okay,
is.
can you,
And number 20.
And 21.
20, discussion vote on janitorial service for the district office
okay,
until the
Okay.
next regular meeting.
Is this where I say goodbye?
Well,
Yes.
yes, you can
Bye,
say.
Carlos.
but there
Thank
has
you.
to be a
Bye.
second.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Second.
Bye.
No, let's let Carlos go. Okay, so we have right now a motion on the floor, but no second for tabling both item 19 and, 18 and item 20. Discussion on record retention, discussion on janitorial services.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion a second. Any questions? Okay, roll call directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson's absent. Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg's an aye, so 18 and 20 are tabled until the next regular meeting.
We don't need D anymore either, right?
I
No.
don't think so.
Thank you, D.
You're welcome. You guys have a good evening, and I'm sure we'll talk next week. And Johnny, I'll see you sometime early in the week.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank
sounds
you,
good.
Dee.
I take it your surgery went well.
It went well. It went well. Just
Good.
gotta be really
Good.
careful.
All right. Stay off those horses.
It's tough to do, but I will for the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
Take care.
Maybe a few more than a couple weeks, Steve. Okay, have a good weekend.
Thank you. You guys too. Good night.
Good night.
So Lisa, 18 and 20 in April or March 27th?
April,
April.
Okay.
regular meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're on brief recess, approximately 10 minutes. Anyone want to not do the recess?
Let's go.
No, let's go forward.
Okay, then we're not going to recess. New business, item 19, discussion vote on renewing the billboard lease agreement with the Chamber of Commerce.
Is anything change in the contract?
Nothing's gonna change. When I emailed BJ, he just requested that we extend it to 5 years as he's been asking. That the chamber wants a 5 year versus a 1 year, so.
Yeah, but they're still only paying 100.
Yes.
I'm not okay extending it to 5 years yet.
I wouldn't
I think we
recommend
need a
5 years
long-
either.
100, I mean, yeah, with a 1% increase or a 2% increase
Yeah,
annually.
yeah.
I mean, they never want to increase.
Well, I mean, when this all came about with the county and everything, it was supposed to be where we were not making substantial amount of money off of the thing. It was for the community. So that's why we haven't tried to increase it substantially, because that's
But is
why
everything being complied with now? They're doing.
they're
the
doing a lot better.
streetscape?
I see the truck out there at the signs more often. I see them, you know, in the platters more often, so I haven't had any complaints about it. So if we want to extend it at all, I would say 2 years. But I don't know why 1 year is a big deal if we're just renewing it.
I personally would say let's watch for 1 more year and see how everything goes, because now they're coming into compliance with stuff that we have been asking about for years. And then at that point that we consider the 5 year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
I know we kind of said that last year, but there was still some little issues that came up.
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve the contract for renewing the billboard lease agreement with the Chamber of Commerce for a period of 1 year, at which time in a year we will review it to do a 5-year contract.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other discussion on that? Okay, roll call directors. Director Garcia is absent, especially because we don't have the other directors either. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Gibson's absent. Director Schoenberg's an aye, so that's 3-0-0, 2 absent. Okay, so now we're on item 21, discussion vote on migrating to a .gov domain and email.
So you guys were very concerned about Gmail and security. Instead of migrating just the email and then at a later point having to migrate again because we go to a .gov, my suggestion was apply for a .gov first. What happens is you go through the state or the government, well, .gov, actually. You go to .gov and you request a .gov domain name. They have to approve the name and they're gonna give suggestions, but from my experience, just having FrazierParkWater.gov probably won't be acceptable to them. It may be FrazierParkWaterCA.gov. They may want Frazier Park Public Utility CA.gov, but we submit what we want first. We request, if you guys want FrazierParkWater.gov, I'll put that request first. And they're gonna tell me what they need to,
Why don't we just do
what they
that?
want.
Frazier Park Public Utility
District.
dot.
Okay, as long, I mean, this is what people are.
That's it, that's why, you know, when people search for it, Frazier Park Water, right now, they can search Frazier Park Water and our website comes right up. So that's
But I
that's a
think it would
plus.
still come up if you had Fraser Park Public Utility,
Maybe.
water. Fraser Park Public Utility Water District, that's not our normal.
I mean,
name, yeah.
You wanna kind of keep it
Oh, so you want-
user friendly,
You
so
want
you're
the
not
water in there.
typing a sentence, but it's gonna have to be descriptive so that people understand where. they're
Right, but
going.
usually when you look up a partial, I mean, I look up stuff all the time, usually it finds stuff on a partial. What I am concerned about is that there is some other stuff that comes up when you look up, our FPPUD and something else. It doesn't come up, I haven't done it recently, but I remember there were some other weird things that came up, so I would just be concerned if we do the .gov, if we would still keep the .com or something so that someone couldn't buy that.
You can, if you wanna continue to pay for it, it's not super expensive, I think it's like $25 a year or something. You can keep that, and
35 or something, yeah.
I may be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I think you can have it transferable, meaning if somebody types in
It links, yes,
FrazierParkWater.com, it'll push you to the .gov site.
Yeah.
So if we change over and people aren't aware of the change, it's not like they can't get to us.
Because that's what I personally think we should do, is have as many things so that when you put it in, you don't start finding other stuff that has nothing to do.
Plus you
with
wanna
this.
protect the FrazierPark.com so people can get
Right.
it and do something that's contrary to
Right.
what we want, so it's worth the 25 or 35 or $50 a year to keep that.
I
I agree.
absolutely
Yeah.
agree.
So that would be step one before we can do anything. The second is once we have that domain, we get everything set up. We subscribe to Microsoft 365. It's called G5. And that's the government version of Microsoft 365. It's actually, from what I hear, not crazy expensive. Do we pay annually right now for
Yeah. Yes.
Microsoft?
Yeah, I just had to renew it again, I forget how much it was.
Is it, I'm just curious how it compares. I think it's maybe 500 a year, but it comes with every tool that Microsoft offers, including the email domain. And it also comes with a subscription to Teams. So if you guys ever wanted to drop the payment for Zoom, you'll already be paying for Teams, so we could do it that way.
That's good.
I mean, it's an option. It probably would pay for itself, just that.
Yeah. Well,
But that's later, but just to kind of give you the information
well,
about
I
what's to
think,
come.
yeah, that's something we should do in the future, but yeah.
That's $50 a year right now for the
Oh.
Microsoft.
Okay, so this is a lot more. So the government's like 400 or 500 a year. Not break the bank, but more than what we're paying now.
I mean, we're paying for the security of it, and I can't tell you a week that has gone by that we haven't had warnings from different government entities about how.
Yeah,
lost
Lisa
small-
wanted me to do a payment the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah, there's a lot
I wanted
of,
to borrow,
You should have seen the email that I got from her.
I wanted to borrow your casino winnings the day you got it.
Yeah, yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it's just all,
But
Yeah.
I mean, Zoom is $65 a month times 10, that's $650. That already, if we got rid of Zoom, it would already pay for the G5.
since I hate Teams. Oh, did they
Yeah,
say
I mean,
that?
there's that, it's not as user friendly, I guess, it's not great, but they say less intrusion, like Zoom bombings and stuff like that. Zoom is more susceptible to that than Teams is.
So we decide that later.
That'll
date.
come later, but if you
Yeah.
wanna save the money. it's a
Just
good
so you
thing.
know, when I've gone on different ways, that the only thing, there used to be more stuff on here. Now it's mostly us, except for FPUD.com, which is Fallbrook Public Utility District.
Close.
So I think we should definitely hold on the FPPUD.com.
Yeah, we'll
I agree,
We'll
yeah.
keep that, but then we'll have to, if you want me to start applying for the .gov, there's no charge. that's
Well,
all
we
it
need
is.
to make a
We have to
motion.
think about the name. Tell me the name you want for our domain.
I
Just,
think we should do the Fraser Park Public Utility District, however they do it. I think it will be .ca.gov, like you said, but.
it won't be .ca.gov, but they will make you most likely put CA at the end. Fraser Park Public Utility District CA.
mhm.
That way you're identifying that you're in California and they
California,
like that.
Makes sense.
And when I
But
look
it's a
up
really-
.gov, I like knowing
So I
where
make
I'm
the
looking.
motion that
Mhm.
we have Tiffany go forward with the .gov domain of Fraser Park Public Utility District and the CA if it needs to be on there.
And to retain the.
And to retain the FrazierPark.com domain
And put them together when we get to that point.
and migrate and have them put that on there to migrate to the new domain when we get the new domain.
Okay,
I'll second that one.
all righty. Any discussion, questions, issues? Okay, our roll call directors, Director Garcia is absent, Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson's absent, Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye. That motion passes 3-0-0 with 2 absent. Okay. Item 22, fill and sign Form 700. I think we're all doing that
Yeah.
and
I
hopefully
did
give it
mine, yay.
to
Yeah.
Tiffany
Yeah.
before the end of the evening. So
Already gave
that,
it
do
to
we
you.
have any other? I haven't finished mine yet.
Do
but
you need
we-
any of this other paperwork
No.
or just this?
No, just, I don't even need last year's. Last year's you can recycle because it's a copy. I just need the new one.
Okay, So anything else or can we move on?
We can move on.
Okay, review and approve meeting minutes for 2/4/2025 quarterly financial standing committee, 2/11/2025 AP standing committee, 2/13/2025 regular meeting, 2/25 to 2025 AP standing committee, 2/27/2025 regular state planning and project meeting.
I make a motion that we approve, February 4th, quarterly financial standing committee meeting minutes, February 11th, 2025 AP standing committee, meeting minutes, February 13th, 2025 regular meeting, February 25 AP standing, committee meeting minutes. Yes, 2025, and February 27, 25 regular standing state planning and project update meeting, with any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments or typos or other errors that we may or may not have caught or may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call directors, Director Garcia is absent, Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson is absent, Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, that motion passes 3-0-0, 2 absent for all of the aforementioned minutes. Item 24, discussion vote on forming and or dissolving ad hoc committees. We couldn't do that if we wanted to. We don't have enough people here, so I would suggest we just table that even if we needed to do
Yeah, well, I
that.
don't think there's anything we need to do.
Do we need, okay, so we're past that. Item 25, discussion
Director
vote on
Schomburg?
future- Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
I think this is the correct part of the agenda. Am I supposed to meet with an ad hoc committee to review the bond books, or who am I supposed to
Yeah.
meet with?
So it is the, oh my goodness, there's so many committees now, I can't remember what it's called. It is the.
No, we don't have a
Is it gonna be
financial.
the quarterly ad hoc?
No,
the-
because there's not another quarterly coming up in time.
No, because you got the
And you don't
project.
want the AP because I need to really be there to explain probably the sheet.
Should we
Um,
wait?
The
Create
meter,
a,
well, yeah, you're gonna have to wait.
We'll
We'll
have,
have to
I
create
think we
one.
have to make a committee just for that because of the way we're doing stuff now. Because
Okay,
of
no
the
problem.
law. And, we need to have all the directors here, so I guess we can do that on the next meeting, and will you help us to remember that? And, Tiffany will, help as well, and we can, form that, and yeah, it should just be a one-off, a one-day thing, but yes.
also make sure you guys look to be sent a letter
Yes,
increasing
there's
our fees.
Okay.
yes.
Hey, not to interrupt, but couldn't that fall under the audit ad hoc?
No,
Because that's where her questions came up. I was just making a suggestion. Sorry, guys.
yeah, no, but the audit is with,
With the auditor.
with the auditor, and we're going to discuss some of the
Issues that we.
journal entries
yeah.
and some of the things that we need
I
to.
mean, I guess it could, but I think the problem with that is we're having to pay the auditor, so I think it.
No. It doesn't have to be with the meeting. It could be just with the ad hoc, that the committee. To answer Joan's question.
Well, because as soon as we talk to the auditors, that
Without
goes
it
away.
dissolves.
It was
Yeah.
just a suggestion because you already have that one
Yeah.
in place, and
I
she
mean,
brought it
but
up
she is
during that.
right. That's when Joan brought it up.
No, it's
because
worth entertaining the idea,
she
because
she brought it, so, I mean, I
I don't see
Only
why-
because-
we
only she-
could and just say.
No, only because Joan wanted them to audit a certain account.
Right, but it could still come under that because she still has that request if she doesn't understand, even though they don't really do that. So I think it could come under that. What do you think?
Yeah,
I
see
don't
why
mind
not.
waiting for a separate ad hoc.
I don't
What,
think it would be bad. I
I,
think it's fine.
I think we could do that. We probably just wouldn't wanna do it on the same day because I think we may need the 3 hours for that. So, Financial, oh, we do, wait, why do I have financial ad hoc on the 24th?
But we don't need it.
Oh, that was, so can we do the 24th? Cause I already have that down. Then
I
it's
don't
just
know,
not the financial-
because it's not, I don't know, because it's not a financial thing.
No, but I mean, it wouldn't be a financial thing, it would just be changed to the audit ad hoc.
And it is an audit with Joan. Audit of the.
Cause the financial ad hoc we don't need because we already finished the quarterly. But we had that time scheduled already, so at 10, can you do that?
I guess so, I don't know, what time?
10 AM on Monday, March 24th. Can you do that, Joan?
Yes, I can.
Or earlier? I mean, it's just March 24th. It could be.
Well, I don't know, I don't have my phone, but I'm sure I can. I don't usually have my.
And you said yes, Joan?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so 9 or 10? Yeah.
10's fine.
Okay, so 10 o'clock.
And what was the 318 one? I forgot.
3:18 is the T-Mobile at
Okay.
1 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll
We
see
need to
you.
hurry up
then.
before we close out.
Okay, so we are at that time, otherwise we have to make a motion, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Or there's no other future agenda items, correct?
No,
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I second that.
Okay, the roll call directors, Director Garcia is absent, Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson is absent, Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Shumpers and I, so we are adjourning this meeting at 6:57 PM. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Aye.
Night,
Okay, I have to
everybody. Be
give you
careful in the
700. I
snow and
think
the
I was sure
traffic.
my